I think it hurts probably a lot less when it's just some random troll on Twitter or YouTube or something that says something rather than a friend who, rips your photo off a wall and you thought you had some level of a relationship. But that's great that people have been encouraging. I'm wondering though, for your own thoughts about your career, have you ever been tempted to give up?
Never.
Never. So you've been in LA your whole life.
Yeah.
You went to college.
College in San Diego and came right back. Never been tempted to give up. I mean, everybody probably has a fleeting thought enter their head as much as any weird fleeting thought, but I've never considered for more than a second if I would stop doing this. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. I love to do it. It comes so natural to me. It brings me a lot of happiness. I've never thought about stopping it, no. I thought about shifting my focus within entertainment to different forms of comedy or different types of shows, but I've never wanted to stop. I don't think I'll ever stop. I'll be 105 years old doing stand-up comedy and probably doing a web series of some kind.
Well, you have a Smodcast, right, at the Last Week on Earth, okay?
Yep.
And you interviewed actor Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And he said to you, it's really important for anyone in the arts, do not put all your eggs in that one basket. So how do you take that advice? Is that something, it sounds like you have so many things going on. When did you realize that advice is how you should pretty much rule your career?
Well, I'd already been doing that. Cranston was right here in the apartment and did the podcast, and that was incredible because he's one of my favorite actors ever and an amazing human being, and Breaking Bad is my favorite show ever, so that was just cool in general to have him on my podcast. But when he said that you don't want to put all your eggs in that one basket, that was, for me, was very apropos because I had just started doing the podcast. And that was, to me, the constant I could give myself to take the power away from the casting directors and the people that sometimes, are able to be the gatekeepers of your success and your happiness. So it was nice to have something that, in addition to my stand-up, that just I could self-generate and I could do and help build my fan base with doing that. But I felt really bad lately in the fact that I've not been able to do the podcast the last few months. I haven't been able to find the time. My bandwidth has just been stretched too thin. And with a lot of other things and a little bit of life, I have to find time in there as well. I can't always be just creating stuff for other people. And I feel really bad that I did the podcast almost every week for 3 years, and then I've not been doing it so much lately. But I will be doing it again. I will be bringing it back. But Cranston's advice, I've always understood that. I've always spread myself pretty thin. Is actually a problem for me. I think I would be doing better in my career if I were focused on fewer things. But I just like it all and I want to do it all, and so I just made peace recently with the fact that's just in me and it's who I am, and so my career will go in more of this trajectory instead of this trajectory, but it's still forward progress. This shape ends up going like this, kind of like a whale's tail, but forward. If the tail was in the front of a whale, and then he could swim forward by what? You understand what I'm saying?
Sure. I'm envisioning the whale.
If the tail was in front, and then it went like this, and then the front part you could go like that. Yeah, and it would propel him forward, even though you wouldn't think it would. Is the point.